Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think yesterday we were discuss about the scheme number 16. How the in that how that intermediate or the compounds are synthesized systematically by using as a different reagent and by using the proper reaction condition, how much amount of the percentage of yield are obtained, that we have described with suitable representation on the blackboard. So today what we are going to discuss, let's see here, the scheme number 16, synthesis of aldehyde plus minus 86, which is written already on the blackboard, that we have discussed in our previous lecture. So today what we are going to see, whatever the different reagents and the condition used during that scheme number 16, that we are going to discuss over here. Let's see that what are those different structures and what are its uses and how much percentage of yields are obtained at every step that we are discussing right now. Let's see here reagents and the conditions. Reagents and conditions. Reagents and conditions. Number first means a reagent which is used on that particular compound. A reagent will be AC2O. AC2O means acetic anhydride, which was taken near about 30 equivalent and followed by 4 DMAP. DMAP means 4-NN dimethyl aminopyridine, which was the additive used during this reaction and which was taken near about 0.1 equivalent, followed by tertiary amine ET-thrice-N, which was taken about 40 equivalent, followed by the solvent employed there CH2 Cl2, that is the DCM, means dichloromethane. Temperature of this reaction were kept 25 degrees centigrade and that reaction was stored for 18 hours and the overall percentage of yield obtained near about is 79%. So once again acetylation, and these are the reagent employed during this conversion, and we will get they have got the desired product over here. That 4 here, let us see 4 DMP means what? 4 DMAP is nothing but as a 4 N dimethyl aminopyridine. That is a full form of that DMAP. And the structure, let us see the structure over here. And as we know that the moiety is a pyridine, this is a pyridine, and at 4 position there will be a this group CS3. If you number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, at 4 position there will be this group NN dimethyl aminopyridine. So that is the structure and which is used during this transformation. Now let us look at the second reagent which they have used, they had used during that synthesis of plus aldehyde plus minus 86 was B reagent, and that B reagent means 2-methoxypropene, 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 which was taken about 20 equivalent and followed by CSA, which was taken about 1.0 equivalent, 1.0 equivalent, and the solvent employed was CH2Cl2 DCM dichloromethane, and the temperature of that reaction mixture were kept minus 78 degrees centigrade to minus 30 degrees centigrade to minus 30 degrees centigrade, and that reaction mixture was stirred about 3 hours, and overall yield of that product were obtained 82%. So now here 2-methoxypropene, as everybody knows that this is the IUPAC name given to, and from the IUPAC name we can easily able to draw the structure of 2-methoxypropene. Prop indicate as a 3 carbon atom in the straight chain. At 2 position there will be a methoxy group, as we know that, and here the double bond present in that. You can put the either double bond on this side or this side, it does not matter, and the rest of the carbon atom you fulfill the bond of that. And here CS3, look at this carbon atom already has a 4 bond, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this carbon atom must have a 2 bond. So this is the structure of 2-methoxypropene, which was taken as a 20 equivalent. And now look at here CSA. CSA, what will be the full form of CSA? The CSA is nothing but as a camphor sulfonic acid. The full form of this is a camphor sulfonic acid, which was the full form of that reagent. And now the next reagent is used as this one C reagent, and the name of that C reagent will be this one MeMgBr, and it is a well known reagent, everybody knows that, and which was taken near about as a 50 equivalent. Then after that this was taken in toluene, which is a non-polar solvent employed during this reaction, and temperature kept around 50 degrees centigrade, and this reaction was stirred for 8 hours, and how much percentage of the yield was obtained is a very high yield. The percentage of yield obtained about 96%, very good yield they had obtained during this process. So this now here is a so not 8 hour, not 94, make the correction here, 94% of the yield was obtained. So here you know that this is a reagent methyl magnesium bromide. Methyl magnesium bromide is nothing but as a Grignard's reagent, and as we know that Grignard's reagent has great importance in synthetic organic compound, because by using as a Grignard's reagent we can make new carbon-carbon bond formation, and therefore it has special importance in the synthetic organic chemistry, and it is a versatile reagent. Variety of the organic compound we can synthesize or we can manufacture by using as a Grignard's reagent. and everybody knows this Grignard's reagent. How do you prepare that Grignard's reagent? Do you remember? The preparation of that Grignard's reagent is a very easy process, where the starting material is used as a alkyl bromide in this particular reaction. By looking this particular reagent, the starting material we can take here is a methyl bromide treated with pure magnesium metal in presence of dry ether. The resulting compound obtained is called as a Grignard's reagent, which is a organometallic compound, and therefore it has a special importance, or it plays a big role in the synthetic organic chemistry. So that the application of that Grignard's reagent, and after that let us see the next reagent which we can use over there. Before that, let us clean the blackboard over here. So you can observe the next reagent will be D reagent here. D reagent we are using over here. D reagent is a same chloride. Here SeMCl, same chloride, followed by which was taken near about 10 equivalent, and further the IPR2 NET, that is a diisopropyl ethylamine, which was taken around 30 equivalent, and after that there will be this reagent N, normal tetrabutyl ammonium iodide, then which was taken around 1.0 equivalent, and then the solvent employed were CH2, Cl2, that is a DCM dichloromethane. The temperature kept around 50 degrees centigrade, and that reaction mixture was stirred around 48 hours, and the percentage of yield were obtained approximately 96%, which was a very high yield, very good reaction it is. So here, as we know that here same chloride, the full form of that same chloride, it is termed as a trimethylsilyl. Just now is a trimethylsilyl ethoxymethyl chloride, which was used for protection of secondary alcohol selectively, and the structure of that trimethylsilyl ethoxymethyl chloride will be same, will be like this. It may be as a this one Cl, that is a methyl ethoxy chloride. So that is a structure you can remember, which is used as a selective protecting group for secondary alcohols. Now after that, let us see the next reagent D followed by E, that is alphabetical letters. Generally they have used during this synthesis, so we are following the same protocol over here. So O3, then PH3P, ozone not P, that is a ozone O3 ozone molecule in presence of pyridine, and how much amount it is taken? It is taken about 1.0 equivalent, and Then the mixed solvent, they were used CH2, Cl2 and MEOH, methanol, 1:1 ratio, and the temperature is kept about minus 78 degrees centigrade. Then they have added pH3 pre, that is a triphenylphosphine, which was taken around 5.0 equivalent. After that, the temperature of the reaction were kept around 78 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade, means at room temperature, and the reaction mixture were stirred for 1 hour, and the percentage of yield were obtained around 96%. That is the percentage of that compound were obtained. Here if you remember O3 pyridine, CH2 Cl2 methanol 1:1, which was a proportion of the solvent used, and as we know that ozonolysis, it is a process of breaking down the carbon-carbon double bond converted into as a small fragmentation of organic molecule, carbonyl compound which containing aldehyde or the ketone, depending upon the nature of the olefin. If the aldehyde group is obtained, one of the fragmentation is a formaldehyde, the nature of the starting material must be terminal olefin. So, that kind of the conclusion organic chemist can draw from that particular reaction. In ancient time, the organic chemist particularly using these are the chemical method for the determination of the structure of the organic compound, unknown structure of the organic compound. Now, after that, let us see the next structure, the next reagent, not the structure. So, next reagent will be the F reagent that we are going to use here, that is a KH, and everybody know the KH is a one of the base, that is a potassium hydride, which was taken near about 10 equivalent, and the another reagent added over there, allyl chloride, and that allyl chloride which was taken around 20 equivalent, followed by the additive is taken is HMPA, that is a hexamethyl phosphoramide, which was taken around 5.0 equivalent, and after that added as a DME. DME is nothing but as a dimethoxyethane, and the temperature of that compound reaction was kept around minus 10 degree to 25 degree centigrade, and that reaction mixture were stirred around 3 hours, and the maximum yield were obtained around 90%. So, here allyl chloride, you know that, and DME, the DME full form of that DME is a dimethoxyethane. So, that is a full form of that DME, and you might be knowing the structure of DME. So, dimethoxyethane is nothing but the CS3, then OCS3, OCS3 and H here. So, this is the structure of dimethoxyethane. And now, let us see the next structure which next reagent, not the structure. So, next reagent which we are going to use over here, that is a G reagent. After F there is a G reagent, and G reagent was IPR2NET, that is a diisopropyl ethylamine, and which was taken around 1.0 equivalent, and then 1.0 equivalent 1,2-dichlorobenzene, 1,2-dichlorobenzene, and after that 1,2-dichlorobenzene, and after that 200 degrees centigrade in a microwave, and then 20 minutes, then after that followed NaBH4, then NaBH4, sodium borohydride, which was taken around 20 equivalent, then followed by methanol MEOH, and after the MEOH there is a 1 hour, and the temperature is kept around 25 degrees centigrade, and the percentage of yield were obtained around 88% for the two steps. This was a story for the reagent, this reagent, that is IPR2NET means diisopropyl ethylamine 1,2-dichlorobenzene. As we know that the structure of 1,2-dichlorobenzene will be this one. This is the structure of benzene. At 1 and 2 position chlorine were occupied, and therefore it is that microwave, that reaction mixture stirred for 20 minutes, then followed by sodium borohydride, which is a reducing reagent which can reduce the aldehyde group into as a alcohol, and for the two step they were got around 88% of that yield. Now, next reagent is a bomb chloride. So, let us see here the next reagent. The next reagent will be, so here that is a H reagent, and H reagent will be BOMCl, bomb chloride, which was taken around 6.0 equivalent, and then IPR2NET, that is a diisopropyl ethylamine, which was taken around 50 equivalent, and then the solvent is used, the CH2Cl2 dichloromethane, and which was taken around the reaction mixture was stirred at about 50 degrees centigrade. The reaction mixture were stirred around 12 hours, and here bomb chloride is nothing but as a benzyl chloromethyl ether, or we can call it as a benzyloxymethyl chloride. Benzyloxymethyl chloride. Methyl chloride, which was the full form of bomb chloride, and the structure may be pH, then CH2O, then then maybe as a Cl. So that may be as a structure, and which is used for the protection of alcohol or amines, but particularly in this case there is alcohol group. So generally here we can use for the protection of that hydroxyl group, preferentially secondary alcohols. And now the next reagent, and the next reagent after the J, there is a alphabetical letter which was used in order to explain that reagent, that is I, and that I once again O3, that is ozonolysis, which was carried out in pyridine, and equivalent 1.0 equivalent which was used during this transformation, and the mixed solvents are used of DCM and the methanol in 1:1 proportion. The temperature of the reaction mixture were kept around 78 degrees centigrade, and then slowly dropwise added PH3P, that is a triphenylphosphine, which was taken around 5.0 equivalent, and the temperature of the reaction mixture were kept around minus 78 to 25 degrees centigrade at room temperature, and the reaction mixture was stored for 1 hour, and they were obtained. Overall yield is around 85% for the two steps. And now the next reagent they were used as, let us see over here, which is I, the letter followed is a J, and J is a TBSCl, that is a tertiary butyl silyl chloride, and which was taken around 10.0 equivalent, and in presence of DBU, which was taken around 20 equivalent, and the solvent employed CH2, Cl2, DCM, dichloromethane. The temperature were kept around 25 degrees centigrade, means room temperature, and the reaction mixture were stored around 36 hours. And after this, the next reagent which was used during the synthesis of aldehyde plus minus 86 were K, and K as usual O3 in pyridine, which was taken around 1.0 equivalent once again, and mixture of the solvent were employed was DCM and methanol. The proportion was 1:1 and the temperature kept around minus 78 degrees centigrade, and then drop by drop added PH3P, that is a triphenyl phosphine, which was taken around 5.0 equivalent, and the temperature of the reaction mixture were changed 78 degrees centigrade to room temperature, means 25 degrees centigrade, and that reaction mixture was stirred around 1 hour, and the percentage of yield were obtained near about 97% for the two steps. For the two steps. For the two steps, these were the reagent and the reaction condition is used during the scheme number 16, which we have described just now here, and its a synthesis. Its synthesis commenced with triol 41 C scheme number 8 for its preparation, which remarkably underwent selective acetylation AC2O 4-DMAP triethylamine to afford monoacetate plus minus 82 in 79% yield. And this fortuitous event allowed us to introduce the acetonide group at the C25/C22 location, 2-methoxypropene CSA catalyst, 82% yield, remove the acetate group by MEMGBR 50 degrees centigrade, 96% yield, and install the same group at the C26 position, same chloride IPR2NET NBU4I 96% yield, or as required of affording fully protected intermediate plus minus 83, and the remaining steps from plus minus 83 to aldehyde plus minus 86 proceeded through intermediate plus minus 84 and plus minus 85, and followed the same route previously discussed in scheme 8. For the synthesis of aldehyde plus minus 27 as summarized in scheme 16, which we were discussed. So, I think in our next lecture we will describe the remaining schemes. I think only 3 schemes, 17, 18 and 19, 3 schemes are remaining, that we will discuss in our next lecture. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.